Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? And in today's video, as you can see, we're going to use this tour guide to take a look at the beautiful, beautiful country of, and one of my favourite countries in the world, of the Republic of Ireland, or, well, simply Ireland. Would you believe, and I love the Lonely Planet series, I have a load of them on the shelf over there. I love their guidebooks and their phrase books as well. And this one cost me £1, and I got one for Cuba as well, and anywhere else. Oh, I've got a couple of new ones as well, but those are the two I got in the sort of charity shop. I was doing some browsing. So, what are we going to look at in today's video? Well, we are going to take a look at different places, and that looks yummy. Different places in Ireland that maybe you can visit. Maybe you're from there, because I know I've got quite a lot of Irish subscribers. And yeah, we'll just enjoy looking at this stunning country and all the things it offers in today's video. Cupón tea. A cup of tea in Irish. Okay, so look at these pictures. We'll start here. That looks nice. Wow, it's incredible. So, welcome to Ireland. Oh, I've been there. So this is Giant's Causeway, located in Northern Ireland. And does this? Yes, this covers the whole of Ireland, not just the Republic. So there we are, we've got the north here, and then the Republic as well. So there's this beautiful map here. It is called the Emerald Isle after all, for a purpose. It's got this beautiful green colour. Of course, Irish people know that it's green because it rains all the time, but I'm Welsh, so I'm on your team. I know what that feels like. So it says Dublin, pulsating and manageable capital city. You got Kilkenny, a regal medieval city. Cork, I love Cork. Superb restaurants in Ireland's second city. Yeah, I had an amazing meal there actually. You've got Galway, which I adore, a city that epitomises Irish hedonism. You've got Derry, the walled city featuring music and art. Causeway Coast, fitting backdrop for Game of Thrones. And you've got Titanic, Belfast, museum of the world's most famous ship. So the top experiences then. Taking the coastal road. Yes, Ireland does very much remind me of Wales in many respects. Driving the wild Atlantic Way, exploring the Causeway Coast, and riding the Ring of Kerry. The Gaelic culture, hitting the pub, spectator sports, and toe-tapping trad sessions. Irish traditional music is best expressed in trad session, a loosely organised, sometimes impromptu performance in an old-fashioned pub. Literary corners. I've been to I think it was the National History Museum in Belfast. I didn't get to go to it in Dublin though. Literary Dublin. Dublin is full of reminders of its rich literary heritage. That, yes, so many famous writers. Storytelling and poetry slams. Wild landscapes, look at that, absolutely stunning. Yeah, when I think of island, I think of, the heather and the sort of low mountain ranges, the green lush background of the deer there. Oh yes, and bogs. I also think of bogs when I think of Ireland, and peat and whiskey. Urban adventures. We have Titanic in Belfast, Derry city walls and culture in the capital, seafood and stout. I don't like stout though, unfortunately, so I don't like a Guinness. Galway oysters. I've still never had a good oyster in my life. Dingle's lights, culinary Cork. Ancient ruins, like monastic settlements and megalithic monuments. Stone Age tombs. Big waves and hiking trails. Surfing Atlantic waves. Island escapes. Puffin is right up there with one of my favourite birds. Look how beautiful that is. And then Craggy Island. Reminds me of Father Dead. So need to know, Republic of Ireland. Currency is the euro, and languages are English and Irish. I feel a little silly explaining this, but Irish, I did have to explain this once to some kids I was teaching near London who didn't realise. When I said I spoke Welsh, they thought I meant speaking English with a Welsh accent. So Irish isn't, there is such a thing as Irish English, but Irish is a Gaelic language which is similar to Welsh and, in its own way French, but is very distinct from English. Okay, let's get started. I'll skip the itineraries bit and we'll just go straight into random pages, I think. I imagine a very large section of this book is going to be about Dublin. That's in Arabic. Allah is God. So, a world famous Chester Beatty library housed in the clock tower at the back of Dublin Castle is not just Ireland's best small museum, but one of the best you'll find anywhere in Europe. It has the Nara Ehon scrolls, the East Asian collection and sacred traditions, Ibn al-Bawab Quran, the Quran collection, sacred traditions, and the New Testament Papyri, the Western collection, the sacred traditions. And the Kilmainham Gael, if you have any desire to understand Irish history, especially the long-running resistance to British rule, then a visit to this former prison is an absolute must. It's played a role in virtually every act of Ireland's painful path to independence, and even today it still has the power to chill. Oh yes, I've been up the top there. The view of Dublin is beautiful. So this is the well, I don't know if they actually make Guinness there anymore, but it's the sort of Guinness Museum. And then you get up to the top after taking a tour, and they've got this beautiful scenic deck, and you have a free Guinness, which I gave away, and then I bought myself a cola. And you sit out and you look right across Dublin from the top here, which is very beautiful. It freaked me out a little bit sitting on the edge though. So County Dublin, which is massive. Drogheda is just outside to the north. Bray just to the south. So we got the river Liffey, is it? Liffey, running through it. It's quite a dark river by all accounts, quite dark water. So they say when you're in the Guinness Museum, They say that the reason that Guinness is black, because it's a stout, not a beer, is because they use the water from the river that flows through Dublin. But that's a fairy tale, that's not correct. However, the water is quite dark. And in Welsh, now let me think about this, do we call it Dilyn? Well, I think it's Dyflin now, but D is black and Llyn is like a lake or a river. So the black, so basically Dublin, I think, comes from the Celtic word for black river. But that's not what it's called in Irish Gaelic. Ballyaclia, I think it's called in Irish. So there is a little sort of heritage about the river running through the city, being dark in colour, which is probably due to lots of other geographical factors, like the silt or whatever. But, oh yes, Temple Bar. So expensive in Temple Bar. So let's skip on. I don't want to spend the whole time talking about Dublin. That'd be quite predictable. There's plenty to see. Now, I'm not sure of the pronunciation. Glendalough? So you have the Round Tower. Glendalough's most famous landmark is the 33-metre high Round Tower, which is exactly as it was when it was built 1,000 years ago, except for the roof. That this was replaced in 1876 after a lightning strike. Oh. And that is, I guess, it's number 2, is it? And then the Deer Stone, the spot where St. Kevin is said to have truly become one with the animals, is really just a large mortar called a bulawn, used for grinding food and medicine. And the main gateway here. The only surviving entrance to the ecclesiastical settlement is a double arch. Notice that the inner arch rises higher than the outer one in order to compensate for the upward slope of the causeway. County Kildare. Some of Ireland's best grazing farmland has made County Kildare prime agricultural real estate, especially for the horse racing set. Oh yes, Ireland of course is extremely famous for its horse racing and the horses it produces. The county is dotted with stud farms where champion racehorses are reared and trained. In recent decades it has had to contend with Dublin's ever-expanding commuter belt, which has swallowed up many of its towns and villages. The county isn't especially stocked with must-see attractions, but there are enough diversions to justify a day trip from the capital or a stop on your way out west. So then it shows us counties Wexford, Waterford, Carlow and Kilkenny. So this is the south east. And I know of Rosslare because actually it connects to Fishguard in Wales. You can get a boat between the two. Wexford town. There's a little map of it. And Rosslare Harbour itself. Busy Rosslare Harbour has connections to Wales and France from the Europort ferry terminal. Home also to the Rosslare Europort train station. The road leading uphill from the harbour is the N25. There are some lovely sandy beaches in the area, in particular Rosslare Strand, which make it worth spending some time here before catching your train or ferry. Rosslare Strand itself is a glorious white sand and pebbled beach which stretches for 6.5 kilometres and has a blue flag rating. That means it's a very clean beach. County Waterford. Waterford City, Port Lorgia, is Ireland's oldest city. It celebrated its 1,100th anniversary in 2014, with a history that dates back to Viking times, taking its name from the Old Norse Vetrarfjord, winter haven or windy harbour, are just two of several possible translations. It remains a busy port city on a tidal reach of the River Suir, and is famous as the home of Waterford Crystal. Oh yes, Waterford Crystal. The Triangle of Golf. I'm more of a wee golf person, to be honest. There are 3 championship golf courses within 5 minutes drive of Dungarvan, West Waterford Golf and Country Club, Dungarvan Golf Club and Gold Coast Golf Club. And then Kilkenny. In the Middle Ages, Kilkenny was intermittently an unofficial capital of Ireland, with its own Anglo-Norman parliament. In 1366, the parliament passed the Statutes of Kilkenny, aimed at preventing the adoption of Irish culture and language by the Anglo-Norman aristocracy. They were prohibited from marrying the native Irish, taking part in Irish sports, speaking or dressing like the Irish, or playing any Irish music. Although the laws remained on the books for more than 200 years, they were never enforced with any great effect and did little to halt the absorption of the Anglo-Normans into Irish culture. Okay, so then we got on to County Cork in the southwest. So Cork City is Ireland's second city Ireland's second city is first in every important respect, at least according to the locals. Oh yes, they're very passionate. We will cheerfully refer to it as the real capital of Ireland. It's a liberal, youthful and cosmopolitan place that was badly hit by economic recession, but is now busily reinventing itself with spruced up streets, revitalised stretches of waterfront, and seemingly an artisan coffee bar on every corner. There's a bit of a hipster scene, but the best of the city is still happily traditional, snug pubs with live music sessions, restaurants dishing up top quality local produce, and a genuinely proud welcome from the locals. There's a nice view of County Cork and the city of Cork itself. Let's find it. Cork Airport, Crosshaven. Bantry, Hailey Pass, Rock, Kenmare, Skillarney, there's Kerry, County Kerry. Oh, there's Cork. It's in red. So Cork City, revelling in Cork's brilliant selection of restaurants, pubs, music and theatre. But the Sheep's Head Peninsula is hiking out to the tip of this windswept and wonderfully remote finger of land. Oh, picture time. This is Lot's wife in a place called Baltimore, funnily enough. This white beacon marks the entrance to Baltimore's busy little harbour. The Aries in West Cork, a cluster of brightly coloured houses overlooking Collar Bay. Aries is often used as a film set. Bantry House and Garden in Bantry is number 3. Look at that view, that's absolutely stunning. This 18th century aristocratic mansion has beautiful gardens and offers B&B accommodation. And then Castletown Bear, a busy fishing port. Castletown Bear is home to Dunboy Castle. Then County Kerry, which is just to the northwest of County Cork. So why go to County Kerry? Well, County Kerry contains some of Ireland's most iconic scenery, surf-pounded sea cliffs and soft golden strands, emerald green farmland crisscrossed by tumble-down stone walls, mist-shrouded bogs and cloud-torn mountain peaks. So Killarney is here, the Cap of Dunlow, Waterville, the Skellig Islands. The Gap of Dunlow, exploring the Killarney Lakes and starkly beautiful Gap of Dunlow by boat and bike. The Killarney area has been inhabited since at least the early Bronze Age, when copper ore was mined on Ross Island. In the 7th century, St. Finian founded a monastery on Innisfallen in Loch Lean, and the region became a focus for Christianity. The lands around the loch were occupied by the Gaelic clans, or Gaelic clans of MacArthur Mór. Mór meaning great, big. And the O'Donohues of Ross, who built Ross Castle before coming into the possession of the Herberts of Muckross and the Earls of Kenmare. Oh wow. So Inch Strand, is it Inch or Ink? A 5-kilometre long beach that attracts surfers, land yachters, anglers and film directors. Kerry Bog Village Museum. And the impossible to pronounce Carrantouil. Oh no, that's it, that's that. And Kilogleen, home of the lively Pack Fair in August. For the rest of the year, Kilogleen is a quiet town on the River Lawn. Okay, let's continue. Fungy the Dolphin. In 1983, a bottlenose dolphin swam into Dingle Bay, and local tourism hasn't been quite the same since. Showing an unusual affinity for human company, he swam around the local fishing fleet. Eventually, somebody got the idea of charging tourists to go out on boats to see the friendly dolphin, nicknamed Fungy. Up to 12 boats at a time and more than 1,000 tourists a day plied the waters with Dingy's mascot, a cornerstone of the local economy. There's even a bronze statue of him outside the tourist office. In the wild, bottlenose dolphins live for an average of 25 years, though they have been known to live to over 40 in captivity. Fungy had been around for more than 35. Yes, it was always the same dolphin, recognisable by his distinctive markings, when he disappeared in October 2020. Oh no, really? Sadly, given his age, it is most likely he has passed away. What will Dingle do without its dolphin? Okay, counties Limerick and Tipperary. From marching ditties to rhyming verse, the names Tipperary and Limerick are part of the Western lexicon, but both counties are relatively unexplored by visitors. As the third largest city in Ireland with its sizable student population, Limerick City bustles year-round, but is at its liveliest during the warmer months, from around April to October. And here we have a picture of it, just next to County Clare. Limerick's low-lying farmland is framed on its southern and eastern boundaries by swelling uplands and mountains. Limerick City is boisterously urban in contrast and has enough historic and cultural attractions for a day's diversion. About 15 kilometres south of the city are the haunting archaeological sites around Loch Gŵr, while about the same distance southwest of the city is the cute thatched village of Adar. King John's Castle there in Limerick, and the Hunt Museum along the river there, the River Shannon. Okay, I'm going to speed up because otherwise we'll never get through anywhere near this book. Okay, County Clare, which is the next one up, on the coast. It combines spectacular windswept landscapes and vibrant Irish culture. The ocean relentlessly pounds Clare's coast year-round, eroding rock into fantastic formations and fashioning sheer rock crags, including those at the iconic cliffs of Moher and at ends of the Earth Loop Head. Right along the coast, the waves are a magnet for surfers, and surf schools set up on many of Clare's beaches in summer. Enish. Clare's charming commercial hub, Enish, lies on the banks of the fast-moving River Fergus, which flows east, then south into the Shannon estuary. The town's medieval origins are recalled by its irregular, narrow streets. But the most important surviving historical site is Enish Friary, founded in the 13th century by the O'Briens, kings of Thomond, who also built a castle here in the 13th century. Oh yes, look at those. It's very Games of Thrones, isn't it? This is the Cliffs of Moher. On a clear day, the staggeringly beautiful vertical cliffs can afford views to the Aran Islands. This is the, how do I pronounce it, Poolnabron Dolmen. Also known as the Portal Tomb, the 5,000-year-old burial site was excavated in 1986. This is Bunratty Castle, and this is the Burren. This rocky windswept Burren region is a unique landscape, perfect to explore on foot. Oh, my favourite now, County Galway, which is up here in the west. West is best, as they say, after all. Why go? Why not? County Galway's exuberant namesake city is a swirl of colourful shop-lined streets filled with buskers and performance artists, enticing old pubs that hum with trad music sessions throughout the year, and an increasingly sophisticated food scene that celebrates local produce. Galway City. Galway's Irish name, Galif, originates from the Irish word Gael, meaning outsiders or foreigners, and the term resonates throughout the city's history. From humble beginnings as the tiny fishing village Clada at the mouths of the river Corrib, it grew into an important town when the Anglo-Normans, under Richard de Burgo, also spelt de Burg or Burke, captured territory from the local O'Flahertys in 1232. Its fortified walls were built around 1270. On the Aran Islands, yes. The Pilassi Wreck, Kilronian Irish Moor, and the Inisheer, an old castle, ancient churches, and a magical spring are just a few of the highlights of Inisheer. The smallest of the Arans, centuries of history are preserved in rock. Next up is counties Mayo and Sligo. So we are sort of coming into just above northwest, not completely northwest though. So County Mayo. Mayo has wild beauty and haunting landscapes, but you'll find few tourists here, which means there are plenty of untapped opportunities for exploration by car, foot, bicycle or horseback. Life here has never been easy, and the potato famine ravaged the country between 1845 and 51 and prompted mass immigration. Consequently, many people with Irish ancestry around the world can trace their roots to this once blighted land. You can see it's there, Sligo itself is here. Westport is there, look. Number 1 is Dumbriste. Where is that located? 3 further up the top there. Dumbriste. Staring out over raging waves to this vast sea stack cleaved from the coast by huge storms. Next up is Donegal, which is to the northwest. So this is the wild child of Ireland and home to some of its most ravishingly sublime scenery and beautiful beaches. This is a county of extremes, at times desolate and battered by brutal weather, yet also a land of unspoilt splendour where stark peaks and sweeping beaches bask in glorious sunshine and portside restaurants serve majestic food. See it here. It's just across the border from Derry there. Bunkrana. Slieve Lag. Climbing to the top of the soaring sea cliffs, then sampling seaweed-infused gin at the nearby distillery. And then just grouped together, the Midlands. I believe there's a very low population in the centre of Ireland here. If you're in search of a genuine slice of rural Irish life, you'll find it here in the country's heart. Often bypassed by visitors, the Midlands region brims with verdant pastoral landscapes, stately homes, archaeological treasures, sacred monastic sites, lakeside vistas, and sleepy towns where the locals are genuinely glad to see you. You see, here we have County Leitrim, with Carrick-on-Shannon, for example, Leitrim's here, Roscommon, Westmeath, Longford, Offaly, Laois, I want to say, and Kildare, Meath. Roscommon town in County Roscommon. The county town of Roscommon is very much a place of local business and commerce, but it has a small stately centre and some significant and picturesque abbey and castle ruins that make it worth exploration. Bruna Bogna. So there's some beautiful pictures here. How green can you get? It's in County Meath. Bruna Bogna. The vast Neolithic necropolis known as Brunabonje, the Broyne Palace, is one of the most extraordinary sites in Europe, 1,000 years older than Stonehenge. It's a powerful testament to the mind-boggling achievements of prehistoric humankind. The complex was built to house the remains of those in the top social tier, and its tombs were the largest artificial structures in Ireland, until the construction of the Anglo-Norman castles 4,000 years later. The area consists of many different sites. The three principal ones are Newgrange, Noath and Doath. And these are in County Meath, Louth, Cavan and Monaghan. I missed the title page. There we are. So these are the ones next to the Midlands that come down to Dublin and border with Northern Ireland. The fertile fields of counties Meath and Louth attracted Ireland's first settlers, making these two counties the birthplace of Irish civilization. And then we take a look at Belfast. Belfast is in many ways a brand new city. Once shunned by travellers, unnerved by tales of the Troubles and sectarian violence, in recent years it has pulled off a remarkable transformation from bombs and bullets, pariah, to the hip hotels and hedonism party town. The old shipyards on the Lagan have given way to the luxury apartments of the Titanic Quarter, whose centrepiece, the stunning star-shaped edifice housing the Titanic Belfast Centre, covering the ill-fated liner's construction here, has become the city's #1 tourist draw. No visitor to Belfast leaves without learning something about that ship. Solidarity Wall. Another popular theme for murals in Republican areas is support for other nationalist and Republican movements around the world, including Palestine, the Basque Country, and Latin America, notably on the stretch of Falls Road known as Solidarity Wall. Counties Down and Armagh. County Down's treasures fan out beyond Belfast. Strangford Lough's sparkling island fringe waters stretch south, with the bird-haunted mudflats of Castle Espy and Nundrum's ancient monastery on one shore and the picturesque Ards Peninsula on the other, or Ards Peninsula. Counties Londonderry and Antrim. Derry. Northern Ireland's second largest city, continues to flourish as an artistic and cultural hub. The city centre was given a striking makeover for its year as a UK City of Culture 2013, with the construction of the Peace Bridge, Ebrington Square and the redevelopment of the waterfront and Guildhall area, making the most of the city's splendid riverside setting. Walking tour around Derry's walled city. Causeway Coast, Giant's Causeway. The grand geological centrepiece of the Antrim coast is the Giant's Causeway, a spectacular rock formation composed of countless hexagonal basalt columns. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, it is the North Coast's most popular tourist attraction. The Glens of Antrim. The northeastern corner of Antrim is a high plateau of black basalt lava overlying beds of white chalk. Along the coast between Crescendon and Glenarm, the plateau has been dissected by a series of scenic, glacier-gouged valleys known as the Glens of Antrim. Two-way marked footpaths traverse the region. The Ulster Way sticks close to the sea, passing through all the coastal villages, while the 32-kilometre Moyle Way runs inland across the high plateau from Glenariff Forest Park to Ballycastle. So, counties Fermanagh and Tyrone. The ancient landscape of Fermanagh was shaped by ice and water, with rugged hills rising above the quilted plains of half-drowned drumlins, rounded hills formed by retreating glaciers, and shimmering reed-fringed lakes. There you have it. There's Omagh in the middle. And there we go. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, why don't you top it off and give the video a like for me. And if you want another tour guide in the future, I've got quite a few ready to go. I've got Cuba, Japan, Australia and Canada. So why don't you let me know in the comment section which of those you would like. Vote for Cuba, Japan, Australia or Canada. Like I said, give it a like, subscribe if you made it this far. Clearly you're going to love my other videos. There is a back catalogue of previous tour guides if you want to check them out. We've done France, Poland, Italy, Great Britain, Germany, and I think I've done the Netherlands, Scandinavia as well. So check those out, and I will be back with another video very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed learning a lot more about this beautiful place. And if you love what I do, join me on Patreon. Info in the little box below.